excited. You guys been telling me to go here for a long time. Now we're here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you guys the castle, man. Can't wait to see the water, man. The water looks nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the water looks nice.
Oasis Beach. Oasis.
Oasis Beach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Building history is right here.
Yeah, man, we're just planning to get in.
About to enter, you read, come up on the next entrance.
lot of history, man.
Yeah.
A lot of history. It's crazy. You know? This is where they bring all the slaves, man. This is where they traded them. This is where they shipped them. Everything, man. It's crazy. I wonder how many slaves did they
Think?
like kept in here? You know?
Yeah.
I wonder how many.
That question to him.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah.
But I think it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah. Get this too?
Yeah.
The video? Yeah. Now slave dungeon.
Dungeon, not a grave.
Dungeon.
Oh, get closer a bit, get closer a bit. All right, good afternoon, brothers and sisters. You are all welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Mark Tete. I'm the tour guide. We are doing a walking tour. It's taking us for roughly 45 minutes. But mask is a requirement. So if you are not on mask, make sure you put on your mask. Oh, calm down. I want you to be down so that we can have air coming in. If you block the entrance, you can't get fresh air. So because of that, let me take off my mask so that you can hear me properly. And the tour is taking us for about 45 minutes. And after an introduction, we go to the dungeons to see where British kept about 1,000 slaves. We come out to the yard and talk about some graves. Then move to the condemned cell.
Seriously?
Then to the female dungeons. Then to the door of no return. However, I promise you, this hot afternoon, we are all going to return. From there, if he has some strength and time, then we shall go up to see the residence for British people. So basically, it's a long walk. And on a tour, feel free and ask your questions. You can pass comments, you can take photos as well. Now, this is historic Cape Coast Castle. But the word Cape Coast itself, it is a corrupted Portuguese word from the word Cabo Corso, which means short cape, and that was corrupted into Cape Coast by British people. And this building we have here is the youngest and the last castle in Ghana. There are 3 castles in this country and several of the forts along the coast that were built by Europeans, and almost all of them were used for transatlantic slave trade. And the first one is the one at Elmina that was built around 1482 by Portuguese under the leadership of one Don Diego G. Azambuja. There's one in Accra that was built around 1661 by the Danish. This one was built by British in 1665. So basically, this is the youngest castle. And this one was built at the time slave trade that we are coming to talk about today started in Africa for about 200 years already. The way British built this particular castle, the dungeons like this alone had a capacity to hold 1,300 slaves at one particular time. This part was for men, 1,000 were inside here. Women were other side, 300. They kept them in a dungeon 2 weeks minimum, up to 3 months maximum. All depends on the availability of British ships. But 1807, British then came out with a law, said they stopped slave trade. 1814, Dutch also did the same thing. But from then to 1860, slave trade in Africa did not stop. It continued for well over 40 years. So British called that one illegal. So 1860, slave trade stopped. So this building was used by British as a colonial administrative center. The British controlled the building to the time we gained our independence. They moved the British out of the castle. So the castle, 1665, that British started building using free and cheap African labor till now. It is 356 years old. That is the age of this one. El Nina, the first and the biggest, is about 539 years old. And when we went to the Building History Museum, but I've seen that before British built the castle, this land changed hands among several white people. Swedish came here first, Swedish. They came somewhere 1654. They were trading in gold and ivory. They stayed for some time, then they abandoned the land. Then later, Danish came here because of gold. So while the Danes were here, Dutch attacked the Danes. So when the Danes were defeated, the Danish went to build the castle. So while Dutch thought they conquered everybody, 1664 British attacked the Dutch here. Then the British defeated the Dutch and they built the castle. They knew other Europeans would come to attack them. So they brought cannons all around the castle for protection. That was why British stayed for over 200 years. And nobody defeated because of the cannons. And they built a structure using bricks. This is original. Here is original. Inside here. They brought all these bricks from England. They brought them to balance their ships to Africa. So when they were going to Europe and America, they used slaves as balance away. There was no cement at that time. So they used grounded sea shells, lime powder and palm oil as the binding material. And they built a castle on a rock. The foundation is huge rock. That is why for several years the building is very, very strong. So this is in a way a small introduction before we begin the tour itself. If there's a question that you want to ask me, you can do that. If not, we are going to the dungeons.
I have a question.
Yes, my friend.
So this big castle only held 1,300, you said?
Come again.
You said this big castle only held 1,300 slaves?
1,300 slaves.
That's it?
No, at one time.
At every point in time.
This is one time, you said?
Yeah, at one time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At one particular time. That's the capacity.
Gotcha, okay.
So when they move, they'll bring more.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for 200 years, it's not a small thing.
Okay.
So that's just a capacity.
Yeah.
How long did it take for them to finish up this?
It was built well over 100 years.
It took them 100 years.
More than 100 years.
Before they
Wow.
finish.
It went through demolition, addition, demolition, addition. So
Wow.
it was built well over 100 years. So you see, like this thing, it was built over 200 years.
Wow.
At the point, it's more than 100 years of construction. All right, if there's nothing again, let's start. Now, come as you are, just be in the middle. Don't go closer to the wall. So let's start.
If you attend the lights off.
This is 5. So this is 1. 200 will give 200. This light was not here. That is why I off the light so that you can have a feel of the original dungeon. So these 3 holes were their windows. For those who can see. And they stayed 2 weeks to 3 months. So some became blind. Some became blind. You can see the bricks I was talking about. This original floor. Up is also original. And there was nothing like toilet facility for the black people. There was no urinal. There was no bed to sleep on a mattress. So anytime they wanted to go to the toilet, they would do it here. Wow. They want to urinate the same place. And they were in meat. They were not even sleeping, but there was nothing to sleep on. They were here chaka like that for 3 months. This is what we are seeing here. Were built as their urinal. Only urinate to pass through slowly to the sea. But it's got to a time that some of the Africans started fighting the British people because they were suffering. So they wanted to free themselves. Those were identified and brought from this side to this place. So then they created a door here. So they call this side a strong room. So British were not coming to clean the waste. So the toilet started piling. It started from one level to the other, to the other. It reached a point that these bricks was completely covered with waste. The waste reached some height like this. So we are going to see. Therefore, the small boy in the game. One can stand there. Good. My brother, you done. My brother, you brother. Good. Close there. My brother, you done. You go back. I want to show something on the wall. So this, the two gentlemen there. You done move to the far corner. Okay, so yeah, my friend there, move this way. This side of it. Thank you. If you look on the wall that way, towards down, you can see some white lines. Because they stopped cleaning the place, the waste then. This is the third one, and you cannot see the bricks. This is all solidified waste. The other side was like this before. So there are bricks down. And this house here were windows, for those you can see. One is set as a spiral. But on top of this dungeon, British went to build a church. They said they were Christians. They go to church. They call a church Society for the Propagation of the Gospel. That changed into Anglican Church in Ghana. So they were up preaching Bible, and blacks were dying from that. They never came. This is a urinal school. Let's come. So you can see this floor. It's clearly showing that it's not original. This is also solidified. Oh, come inside, feel free. Yes. And this is the last one, which also had some 200 people. So out of the 1,000 Africans, by the time we were ready to go with them, many died. The survived ones were taken from the dungeon, chained together all the time. Then there was a hole at the back of this white cloth. They call it a tunnel. So they forced the blacks through the tunnel. They walked all the way to the place they call Door of No Return. But the tunnel was blocked in the year 1833 by a British governor called Captain George McLean. And when we go outside, the whole is there, we see. But here nobody can see it. And they bring them from the darkness to this point, where they were here for 5 months. Some of them were sick and weak. And the sick ones, they will select them. They will send them to that small room to go and wait, just to allow the stronger ones to go. That was why they created this window. So that because there wasn't light at that time, this will help them to see who's sick and who's not sick. So they call this place selection room or sorting room. Whenever the stronger ones leave, the sick ones were brought from there and kept back here, but they died because they were not given any medical attention. This one is a shrine, but the shrine wasn't here. We have to understand that before Europeans came to Africa with Christianity and Islam, it was also brought by the Arabs. Africans, this is our religion. We pray to God through smaller gods like this. So before British built the castle, the locals who were in this town had a shrine like this, around this part of land. When the British built the castle, anytime the local people wanted to come and pour libation, British would say no. The locals came for their shrine to their community. So when the British left, they brought a shrine back here. This came here in 1974. And they call it Nana Tabil. And in Cape Coast, there are about 77 gods. Nana is one of them. If you look around here, ladies and gentlemen, you can see flowers. It doesn't mean that someone died. The blacks didn't know that fact. The actual people did not get a chance to come back alive. And now the descendants are coming home. They come from the US, from Jamaica, Brazil, globally. Whenever they come, we go on a tour like we're doing. In fact, many of them share tears with us. For that, some of them pray, they pour libation, they do other rituals, they live this in sin. That's why the place like. So today, we will not be going to the sick chamber, nor going through the dark tunnel. We are free. So we'll be going back. This is a cell, and we are going to enter. But the rule is this: the tall ones like me, you have to bend very low. If you fail to bend, you will crash your forehead, you crash your head. I don't want that to happen to you. The weather is too hot for that. So we are going to enter the cell. So you enter and come out, then I'll explain to you. Before COVID, we were going in and I would have locked everybody, I would lock you. But because of the situation, we've stopped. Now I'm going to have a look and come out briefly. Do that when you go. I'll explain to you. Let's have a look at the cell.